My hair is all dyed. I think it's fine. It's still a little damp. It takes a long time for my hair to dry, but I don't want to use a hair dryer because I try to stay away from heat drying and heat on my hair because I know it's not good for it. So, not going anywhere. I just let it air dry. It'll be fine. If I go somewhere, I'll bun it fast. Okay, so I have this Timu shirt on that it's not, I don't love it too much. Mustard, poop, baby poop, yellow. And this color's not bad, but it's real big now. I need to take it in. But I'm not going to, I haven't decided. Do I like it that much? All right, what I'm doing now is when I go, when I wear sandals and it's summertime, I prefer a French tip on my toes instead of painted toes. Why? I just think French tip looks cleaner. And, before I had hip surgery, I couldn't do it myself. I had to have someone else do it for me. But now I can get my foot right up here and I can do it myself. Not to say I'm good at it. I still would rather have someone else do it. But I'm not going to pay $50 going to a foot doctor. No, a foot massage, a foot nailist. What are they called? A pedicure. So I will just do it myself and save me money because I'm all about that. Okay. And I think it looks better if your toenails are a little longer. Not real long, just a little longer for the tips to show. One time we were at church, it was summertime. I look over and I see this lady. She had the longest toenails I've ever seen. And I was kind of going like this to Jamie, and he didn't even notice or even care about it or look at it like I did. It was like, you're kidding me. I wanted to show him, but I had to whisper. But some people don't notice such things. I always notice because my mind wanders when I'm just sitting at places. Okay, I think it's good. Can't see it that great. And like I told you, my baby toenail, there's nothing there to paint. I'll just give it a little white touch. But it's really sad. So, I always just buy this kind of, oh, this is LA Colors, Art Deco. And it got real thick over the winter. I just poured a little fingernail polish remover. Put a little of that in there, and then it gets thin again. So I've had it for years. So, I should tell foot stories now. I had another one I wanted to tell you. Have you ever seen anybody with 6 toes? I did one time, and I'm counting. I thought I was losing my mind. I'm looking down, and I'm like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I counted again. I said, yes, 6 toes. How cool is that? Now, sometimes, like in the wintertime, we have snow, right? I would never wear sandals in the snow. I've talked about this before. What happens if your car breaks down and you got to take a little walk to the neighbors to call or something? And here you are in sandals. And then I just look at them at church sometimes, and they're wearing sandals, and it's 4 feet of snow out there. And I'm thinking, what are you wearing? You're supposed to wear your boots. They have the short boots, the tall boots, a covered foot shoe in the winter. You don't wear your sandals Hillary used to drive me insane when she was a teenager. Here she'd have her sandals on, and I said, your feet are going to freeze, and what if you have to walk? She just thought I was old-fashioned. No, I'm not. And as the opposite goes, you don't wear boots in the summer. I don't care if it matches your outfit. Maybe if you were going out at night, I just think that you need to wear be glad you get to wear your sandals in the winter. And your sandals sandals in the summer and your boots in the winter. They're seasonal. Okay, look, that's all it took. And they're beautiful, clean, and lovely looking. And then this is my favorite Seche Vite. Now, I don't even know how you say it. It's all worn off. But I bought a big bottle, professional bottle, and fill these. This is the best top coat I've ever used in my life. I'll add it in the descriptions below. I just got it on Amazon. But it dries so quickly. And like this is a fake gold thing I put on here. So I use this and, paint it with the clear fingernail polish. So it will not go rose gold before I'm done with it. That's what happens to the stuff, right? It goes rose gold before it goes after the gold rubs off. Okay, I did good. I think you can see it. For my cruise, when I'm by the pool, so people will go, oh, she had a pedicure before she came. Now I'm debating about my fingernails because, I had to cut them short. And I still have an owie right here. Oh, and I hit it yesterday. Oh, that hurt so bad. But I want to rest them and let them be just naturally themselves. But they're short. So do I put fake ones on for the cruise? I don't think I'm going to. Because who's looking at me, number one. Number two, they're not bitten nails. Number three, nobody cares what my nails look like. And I paint them the same color as your skin so they don't show up. So I don't think I'm going to even mess with it trying to do the fake nails on here or anything. I just want them I cut them all so they'd be all sturdy and good. Because when you apply the stuff, I have the gel stuff on there, and I apply it and paint them. And then to get that off, I use this. I don't soak it off. I use one of these and get it off. So I think after a while, it makes your nails thinner. And so then that's why they were having such troubles. So I just want them to get their healthiness back again. So I cut them all short. And except for this one. My thumbnail looks retarded with these. But I never had a thumbnail this long in my whole life. So I don't really want to cut it. I should trim it, though. I'll probably trim it. It's kind of handy, though, to do stuff. So, I dyed my hair. I'm checking off the list for the cruise. Not just packing, laundry. I did my laundry all up. My whites, my darks. I had to wash my new swimming suit. And I had to take the bottoms in because my top's bigger than my bottom, even though I have such a big front butt. But my legs are skinny, so I always have to take them in the sides of my suit, or I have gaposis. And when you have to climb up the ladder in the pools on the cruise, I know someone's trying to look up so I sew that in so there's no gaposis for anyone to peek in there. I don't trust anybody to trying to get a peek. So I did that, and I washed them, and that's ready to pack. And I dyed my hair, and I did my toenails. And so I'm getting the list down. Ironed Jamie's shirts and got them all packed. he went through to see what shirts am I taking, and he approved. But I think I did it wrong. I thought we were only going to be there 4 full days on the ship, but we're not. It's going to be 5 because it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then Saturday we leave. So that's 5 days. I'm so happy. This is my nest right here. Don't judge me. This is my sugar-free candy. And this is I put all my mail back here, papers, and my calendar, and my scissors, and my tweezer, my favorite tweezers in the world that light up on Temu. These are great. All the pluckings with that light. And then, of course, I have the mirror, the 10 times mirror, so you can see, I don't want anybody staring at me and then seeing chin hairs. And then I love these little scissors. They're not cheap. They're Ginger. And they're the most wonderful little scissors for cutting everything. And then I have my lotion. It's almost gone, but I think I'm going to fill it up with more to take on the cruise. I need to put that over there with my cruise. And I got this Amazon card, and I used it for some more of these drinks. And it was from my credit card points, and you could spend them. So I put $50 on my sale and sign card on the ship. So when we get there, I have $50 to spend on the books, And then I ordered this because I wanted to see if it worked. Because I have a lot of points on there because, like I told you, Jamie puts he pays all his money on the credit card and then pays it off at the end of the month. So then we get a lot of points. So I have about enough points to pay for another cruise. So that's happy for me. But I wanted to try this because what if I want to get these for Christmas for everybody? An Amazon gift card. So I think that was a $25 one. And then I have this that the lady sent me, forgot her name. And I put these are my calcium pills in here. I have to take 3 of them a day, but I can't take them all at once. I got to take morning, noon, and night. So I have them sitting in that little thing, and then I know to take them. And I don't forget. And then when I went to the dentist, they told me I need to be flossing better, my new teeth. So I ran and got some mint waxed dental floss, and there's nothing better to floss when you're watching a movie. And every seamstress needs to have these by their chair. Needles. These are the best ones because they have bigger eyes to thread with, embroidered needles. And then my super nail glue. Because you know why? I glue my rings. These are 3 separate rings, and I hate how they twist. So I super glue them together. It works great. And then here's my favorite drink to add to the water. Now, why don't I put it somewhere else? Because I'm lazy. Want everything handy, right at my touch. No, that's terrible. So I call it my nest. Here's my pills for the morning. Have back there, which I only have 1 more day, and then I have to fill it. But I have to fill it for the cruise, too. So it's supposed to be a morning and night, evening and night one. But I only take 3 pills, prescription pills, my high blood pressure and my antidepressant, Zoloft. So I made it for 2 weeks, and I like it much better. And then here's my fingernail polish that I'm using right now for this color that I had years, and I had to put some remover in that too. And then here is my Material Mom drink. This was so cheap from Temu, but I thought it was going to be real sparkles, real, because I do have some that have that. No, it's painted and printed. And then look how they did material, Mom. Looks stupid on there. It's not a sticker. It's like painted. I don't know how they do it, but I was disappointed. But you know, I love this drink because it doesn't have a straw. Whereas the other ones have the straw that, you know, I'm kind of paranoid about that. I got to wash that straw because what's in there? Whereas this one, it doesn't have a straw. But it also doesn't have a handle. So it's good for right here, and it's skinny. I don't have very big hands. Thank you, Mother. So those big fat ones, my hand doesn't fit around it good. So I love the skinnier ones where I can, you know, drink it better. So this is perfect for my home base chair. Okay, I think I've been talking. Oh, and here's my next tissue couch cover that I'm crocheting. Of course, I have it right here. It's with my phone. And it is going to look like a Herculon fabric couch cover. And it's beige with brown and gray, and I think it's black. Little pecks in it. Little specks. So I think this will look like a real couch. So I paid a little extra for this yarn than I usually do, but I like to knit different yarns every time because it makes it more fun when I'm getting to do separate things. Now here, this chair has one of these from when I had hip surgery, but this kept getting lost, you know? So I safety pinned it with one of my brooches to the fabric cover on my chair. So it's right there always. That was a smart idea to do it. I don't have to go fishing, but they're opposite. This one should be going down, but it's going up. It's plugged in backwards, I think. Okay, so now I get to paint them with the clear and be done with my French tip. When I die and I'm on the table, the embalming table, and I'm laying there, I know this is weird to think, but I always think this. I hope I have a good French tip on my toes. I used to watch that doctor, the mortician lady, I forgot her name, Dr. Mortician, and she said, when a body comes in, we know nothing about them except how their body looks. And she said, and so we can tell. And, you know, I lived in a mortuary once. And so you could tell some of the ladies, they had fingernail polish and their hair dyed and looking, you know, you could just tell what kind of life they led by their body laying there. Their dental work maybe, or their... So I always thought of that from then on, like, oh, when my body's laying there, I hope they could tell that I wasn't a lowlife. They are going to be able to tell, she had a lot of children, we can tell that. She had hip surgery, look at her scars. But my second husband, Foster, he taught me something really good. He did have a few good things about him, that's why I married him. I'm glad he was the father to my children because he did give him some, my daughters are wonderful, so they must have got some good genes from the sperm donor that he was. But anyway, he said, I said, when I first married him, I said, oh, my stretch marks are horrible, you know, big old babies. I'm 5'1", 5'2" now because of my hip surgery made me an inch taller. Thank you. Could I have been 3 inches taller? Then the weight could have been spread out better. Didn't know I could choose that. But anyway, I got an inch taller. But I said, oh, sorry about my stretch marks. I know they're ugly and they go all the way around. And he goes, nope. Our bodies are a map of our life. And isn't that a wonderful way of thinking about it? And it's so true. Our scars, we have a story about each scar and what we went through and things that happened to our, you know, we're born perfect little bodies, little babies, And then we grow and we start getting our map of our life is on our bodies. So I don't have any tattoos. Nowadays, people get tattoos and they have stories behind them and meanings why they got it and everything. And I'd rather spend my money on something different than tattoos. Foster had tattoos and they were cool. He had a dragon and some Harley wings, and I don't know, I don't remember everything, but he had them. But back then they weren't as popular as they are now. But I never wanted one. I kind of want to remain inkless, because you're going to be rare someday. The new generation. I heard that the doctors in the emergency room, they cut through more tattoos when they have to do surgeries, and they go, no, we do not care how we put them back together again. So you're going to have a horrible tattoo put back together again, because they don't care. And so I kind of want to be one of those that, lays on the table without any. And, in the day when you were a criminal, your tattoo was your marker that, oh, yeah, they robbed the bank and they have a tattoo on their arm of whatever, and that's how they distinguished you. So if you want to have your anonymity, keep your anonymity, then don't get a tattoo. But tell the new kids that. Hillary, she has a bunch of them. It makes me sad because, I was the mother that gave birth to these perfect little babies. And their skin was so beautiful and soft and gorgeous skin. I remember rubbing lotion all over their bodies after their bath, and they smelled so good, and perfect little bodies. And if they got their knees skinned, it broke my heart. It cried, oh, your poor little skin, and I felt so bad for them. And if they had to have stitches because of a cut or something, Chad got his fingers blown off, all that stuff, oh, it made me so sad. And now I see them, and they're getting their beautiful baby skin is ruined with these tattoos now. And I don't care. Like Tyson, he had one removed, a gargoyle, and he hated it. It was from a horrible time in his life, and he hated it. So he went and got it removed. And then he said he didn't want to be reminded of that time in his life. And he goes, a bad tattoo is like wearing your worst favorite shirt every day of your life forever. So to me, that was funny. And so Chad has a tattoo. They have them up here. And Trevor has one. And Tyson and Cameron. All four boys have one. Emily didn't get any tattoos. She's like me. Hillary, she has some. Hers are pretty, but her skin was prettier. I don't know why she likes them so much. It is a sign, though, of wealth, because they cost a lot. And I heard this one joke about this old lady staring at the lady with tattoos going through the checkout. And the lady without tattoos had a Louis Vuitton purse, carrying it through. And the lady with tattoos is thinking, and she said, lady, you're looking down at me because I have tattoos, but these tattoos cost more than your Louis Vuitton purse. So it's probably true, unless you have homemade ones. Now, Brianna's father-in-law or somebody, he does homemade ones. But they're just all one color. They're not very pretty. And she had a little bee, because her name's Brianna, and we always called her Bee. And so she had a little bumblebee, but she covered it up with something else. But, it's everybody can do what they want. So I guess that's the thing. And if you do it, that's fine by you. That's what you like. Go for it. I'd rather spend my money. I don't want to buy cigarettes. I don't want to buy alcohol. I don't want to buy lottery tickets. I don't want to gamble. I don't want to buy tattoos. I'd rather spend my money on something else, like my teeth and my surgery. Now, Shauna, my sister, was single, and to get food stamps and help with the money every month, because she was going to school. She's a nurse. and she had 4 boys. So she had to go to these welfare classes to learn how to get a job, how to dress to get a job, and all these classes. And so she told me that I've told this story before, you might have heard, but my new people haven't. Anyway, she was in the class, and then they would have break time, and the ladies would go out to smoke. And Shauna didn't smoke, of course, so she just sitting in there. And so anyway, they came back in, and they always said, "How do you afford to get those cute shoes and all your jewelry and all that stuff?" And she just looked at him and goes, "I don't smoke." And it's true. If you're not buying cigarettes every day to smoke, you have more money for other things, like a pair of $1 earrings or a pair of shoes, cute shoes on sale. We always bought stuff on sale. So, you could spend your money different. But we usually do always spend all of our money. I remember this movie once, and Jane Fonda, she just died, but she was in it. And so the title had something to do with doll, but I don't remember what the movie was. I just remember she had all these kids, and she did everything for money. And like, she had chickens and had eggs, and she did sewing and laundry and all this stuff. She wouldn't spend any money. She just would take her dollars, stash them in her apron and in her hem, and finally something happened in the movie and she needed money, and they said, "You don't have any money." Well, I think it was to save her kid or something. Anyway, she brought out all this money that she had. And I thought, I wish I could be that way and hoard all the money and not spend it, and just have your stash of money and not buy anything. But I always end up buying stuff, food. When I was on food stamps all those years, because, I was a single mom for 7 years. And so I had food stamps all that time to feed the 6 kids. Well, it was like, you got enough. We couldn't buy steak or, all that stuff to eat, but you had enough to get by. Well, then when I married Jamie, I didn't have him anymore. It was hard for me to spend real money on food because I hadn't done it for so many years. So it was weird. Oh, that's a lot of money, because usually I didn't want to spend any cash on food because, we had food stamps. So but back then they looked like Monopoly money. Now you get a card. But back then it was like each denomination was a different color. I think the $1 bills were green, and I should have saved some for my collection of what it used to be. I spent them all. So, anyway, life has been weird. And some people say to me, "What do you know? You live in that big rich house. You don't know anything." Oh, yes, I do. I was homeless. I had to live with my parents, and I didn't have a home. And a lovely lady, Mary Jean and Floyd James, came to me. It was right before Christmas, and they said, "We have a rental for you." I felt like I felt like Joseph and Mary finding room in the inn. Anyway, that was a lifesaver to get that, and rent was like $350, $300 or something. And I had enough money for that. And so, and I've been carless. The car broke and I didn't have a car. I've been beat up. Somebody said that one time. You could tell you were never in an abusive. Oh, yes, I was. I had a baby die. My parents have died. And that's another thing we need to realize, people. Your parents are going to die someday. Prepare yourself. Don't go into traumatic, drunken, depressed what these people do, horror show, because my parents died. Well, of course they're going to die someday unless you die before them. So prepare yourself. They are going to die someday. We're going to miss them. We're going to see them again. They're still with us. We have our memories that we love to remember them by, and we have that knowledge in us that, the love is still there. So deal with it, and don't, go off the deep end. I know this one lady and her child died, and it was like a 6-year-old, and it was very sad. And she just went off the deep end, never got out of bed and everything. And here she had other children that the grandma had to take care of and stuff. And I just want to give advice and say, listen, that little dead child is in heaven with Jesus, with Heavenly Father. They're doing okay. They aren't in pain anymore. They don't have to live in this wicked, hard world. But you have other children here to take care of. Your focus needs to be on the children left behind that you have right here. So snap out of it and be a mom to them instead of, it's sadder for these children you're not taking care of because now they lost their sibling and their mother isn't with them anymore. So, you got to think of that. Go put all that love into those other children you still have. So that's another advice I learned. When my baby died, my mother took my kids to her house because, I was grieving. And after a day or so, I called her and I said, bring my boys back. I need them. I needed their little hugs around my neck, and I needed to focus on them and be thankful for them because he wasn't there anymore. So, that's my advice. I have a lot of advice to give that no one really wants to hear. And then you can always say, yeah, but you can't control depression, or you can't control. It was a, neurological serotonin thing. They needed the medicine, and the drunk alcohol helped because then they forgot about all their worries. And they always have a comeback when I give advice. Oh, all right, you're right, I'm wrong. But that's how I dealt with it. And count your blessings. If you're down and out, count your blessings. That's what I would do. At least my children didn't have cancer, because I had a friend, her child died of cancer. And when I didn't have any money and I didn't know how I was going to pay the water bill or something, all right, I still have a roof over my head. My car is driving. My washer and dryer works. I would count my blessings. I'll be okay. Nobody can kill me because I owe them money. And so I would talk myself out of that. So I'm still on Zoloft, though, because that really does help. Because you know what? It gets me out of my room, because I already have a problem with that, staying in my room. It's my home, my sanctuary. I never need to go anywhere, actually. So Zoloft helps me get out there in life. I would be a hermit, because they show that one commercial about Zoloft years ago and how the person was, hiding away from people and stuff. And that's what my depression is. I didn't want to kill myself. I cried a lot too. And Shauna came to me and said, Angela, you crying all the time. It's not normal. You don't need to be crying all the time. That's when I knew I needed Zoloft. And it worked. So I don't cry, and I get out of my room and I live. And I remember when I first realized I'm trying to dry my hair, and I realized that it was working. I was on it for about 3 weeks, because it takes about 3 weeks to start working. And we lived 30 miles from a drive-in theater. And so I remember after 3 weeks of being on it, I told my boys, let's go to the drive-in tonight. And they're all looking, what? Yes, let's go to the drive-in, make the popcorn, get your blankets and pillow. We're going to the drive-in. And we went. I drove down to see the show, and they couldn't believe it, that I actually started living life instead of staying in my bedroom crying all the time. Listen to that sad Whitney Houston, Celine Dion music. Chad came in there and he goes like, no wonder you're sad. Listen to these sad songs all the time. It was true. If you're sad, don't be listening to that sad music. So those are my advices. But you cannot cure. If you need, one lady, her son was depressed. And so she said, could you talk to my son about it? And he didn't want to talk to me. So she said, could you make a tape? So I made a cassette tape and told him all the things. And I told him, you're not going to cure depression with oils or potions or any of that stuff. You got to go to the doctor and get the medicine the real medicine. And so, you know, you can't cure yourself without it. If you really have the no, it's not melatonin, it's serotonin in your brain that's not connecting or something, you need it. So, but guess what? He didn't go to the doctor and he ended up killing himself. My tape didn't work for him. Of course it didn't. You can't pray away. You can't, you know, you got to get the real medicine doctor's help. So, that's my advice if you have depression. Count your blessings. Go get the medicine. Don't get the medicine that drugs you up so much. We don't need that, because we do want to live life and enjoy it. Okay, I've talked enough, long enough, and so my cruise is approaching. I'm taking you with me, and this time I get to film the kids on the water slides and, you know, more things, maybe, I hope. Then on the Australian cruise, it was just David and Carolyn and us old people. This is going to have young people on it. So they don't care if I film them either. And we have 3 places we stop at, and then 2 days at sea. So I should be able to, when I go on the islands, I'll have the internet. I hope that I can, you know, upload the shots. I hope. So last time I had to pay for some days of internet. It's like $35 a day to get internet service. And then it's not that great. But I don't know what will happen this time. But if something happens and you don't hear from me, well, that's what happened. I'll try to make a video of us driving down and flying and post that so you know we're on our way and made it. But it'll always be a day behind. A day, I recorded it this day and it's posted the next day, I guess. Well, nothing's always, and it's never, never. Remember I told you that? Never say always and never say never. Because things always have an exception to the rule. I found that out in my life. I said, I will never live in the same town as my mother when I was a teenager. I had to eat my words. Now I would love to live by my mother. All right. Goodbye.